All right, family. Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath. All praises, all praises. Uh, it should be a lot more brothers and sisters here, right, Cap? Should be a lot more brothers and sisters here. Why? Because this class is for you grown-ups, you adults, you parents, as well as you men, you children, all right? It's for all you, all right? This is a class for the nation, a nation class, all right? That's going to help build your parents to make sure you don't fall short to your responsibility and duty as parents, as well as you children, that you take heed to what your parents are trying to guide and lead you to be, all right, to be in this earth, all right? That's a righteous brother, a righteous sister, all right? A YDOS and a YMOV, young MOV, right? So let's get this scripture here, because the topic, right, put the thumbnail up first. Put the thumbnail up. What does it say? Defiling your innocency, all right? It should be, I guess, make sense, but I'm going to explain it, all right? This world has defiled the innocency of our children, and a lot of grown-ups in here as well. But we focus on the children, all right, because y'all grown. Y'all should know better, per se, right? Y'all in this truth, so that means you should be walking the walk. But we focus on the children today because these children have a lot of things given to them at the touch of a finger to draw them away from everything you see in here, the word of God, their parents, all right, the authority figure that should be guiding them and leading them, all right? So let's start in Deuteronomy 27 and verse 8, because the Bible is a plain book, all right? Some things, of course, is hard to be understood, the similitude, the parables, things of that nature, but for the most part, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. It's plain, right? Thou shalt not have hatred for your brother and your sister. You're a murderer, right? Those are plain things, right? So what we're going to speak about today are going to be plain things for you children to understand, all right? For you grown-ups to make sure you are doing your job as parents as well, because we all get distracted. This life that this captivity we're in is a life of distractions. It's a life of something always tugging at us to take us off the path, right? Which is, a lot of cases, is what? Sin, right? And the cares of life, all right? Let's read that real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt write upon the stones all the words of this law.
So Moses wrote upon the stone the laws, statutes, and commandments. Come on.
Very plainly.
Very what?
Very plainly.
Very plainly. So the commandments are plain, but it's something that's innate in man, which is called sin. This flesh is sin. Sin has occasion to do what? Rule over us. Take us places that we should not be. All right? Come on, read.
Verse 9. And Moses and the priests, the Levites, spake unto all Israel, saying, Take heed, and hearken, O Israel. This day thou art become the people of the Lord thy God.
So Moses started off by telling you that these stones, these words, is the law. It's plainly. And then he said, who he talking to? Israel. He's telling you everything written on these stones is for you, for your benefit. Go ahead.
Thou shalt therefore obey the voice of the Lord thy God, and do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Yes, all praises. I'm going to need you to read a little faster. So it says, our job is to do what? Do, obey the commandments. That's our job. Y'all understand? Family, y'all understand? All right, it's going to be interactive because y'all got to wake up, all right? All these Sabbath classes are meant, as Bishop Kanai, to be interactive. So y'all understand. I got to make sure y'all understand what's coming out. All right, because all this coming out is very heavy, right? We're trying to stop this generation today because this generation wicked. It excels the wickedness that we were in as children. It's very wicked. That's why that's why these young boys are named what? YNs, right? Because this generation is just wicked. It's just they doing things that we couldn't fathom to do. All right. From there, let's get the definition of defile, because that's in the title, right? Defiling your innocency, all right? Let's read that, defile. What does it mean? What does it mean to be defiled? Let's see.
Definition of defile. Defiled, defiling. To make unclean or impure.
To do what?
To make unclean or impure.
So to make unclean or impure, right? Read, keep reading.
Such as A, to corrupt the purity or perfection of, debase. B, to violate the chastity or virginity of.
So that's going into some heavy stuff because you young daughters have something that's very valuable. That's your virginity. That's what's pure to you. That's what no man, little boy, any whatever the case may be, should be able to have access to. Period. You shouldn't allow that. That's why you have fathers in the house. Some of us didn't grow up with fathers. I didn't grow up with a father, but I am a father now with 5 little girls. And I have to make sure I do my job as a father to make sure my girls, my daughters, are what? Secured or taken care of. Or their purity is what? Protected. All right? Keep reading definition. Come on.
Or meaning deflower. Definition C, to make physically unclean, especially with something unpleasant or contaminating.
Right. So what goes in you, right, defiles you. And we're going to go into a lot of things that will defile these young men and women. All right. The young children. All right. All right. Let's read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
One generation passeth away,
Mm-hmm.
and another generation cometh,
Mm-hmm.
but the earth abideth forever.
Right. So one generation come, pass away, another generation come right behind them. Right. So generation to generation come upon the earth. We as parents are still having children. Boom. Then they will have children. Then their children will have children, so on and so forth, right? But go to Matthew 17:17. So we're going from generation to generation, all right? And in our generation, our time on this earth, it was evil. It was wicked, right? You had a lot of things that captured the mind of us, the youth, whether being a whoremonger, right? Because those things that men, big men, OGs, whatever you want to call them, talk big on was having multiple women, right? Being a rolling stone, per se, right? But, of course, we didn't have the scriptures back then. But now we have the word of God to what? Give us the scriptures to put upon us discipline, all right? Read that, Matthew 17 and 17.
The book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation.
Oh, what?
O faithless and perverse generation.
Oh, faithless and perverse generation. So he was talking about them back then as well as still apply today. Because our people say they're Christians. But in Christianity, in the church today, what do they teach children? They teach children to do everything under the sun when it comes to via all the pagan things. They got a trunk or treat for Halloween. They got Christmas. They got Easter Sunday. They dress up. It's just nothing but lies. We always taught that, right? They're not teaching you, thus said the Lord. That's the same generation that's back here today. Same generation. Nothing has changed. Go ahead.
How long shall I be with you?
Mm-hmm.
How long shall I suffer you?
Mm-hmm.
Bring him hither to me.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And the child was cured from that very hour.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're trying to do to these children. We're trying to rebuke them with the word of God. So that spirit can get out of them. That spirit can leave them. Because this world, Satan, which we go keep reading in other scriptures, has put a spell on these children and the adults. Let's focus on the children, but a lot of these adults got spirits on them as well. Satan has grabbed their attention and put them in a trick bag, right? Because they have no discipline, right? But, again, the focus is the children because they are the generations or the future to come. If we don't build them to where they're supposed to be, the next generation after them, oh, my goodness, where we going to be at? We're going to be lost. The world will be destroyed because you have a lot of monsters running the earth and nobody can contain them. All right? From there, Jeremiah 7 and 25. All right? Jeremiah 7 and 25.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 25. Since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them.
Right, that's what we do today. We go forth throughout the four corners of the earth to teach and preach the gospel, the good news to our people, to let them know you're not worthless, to let them know that you are a precious vessel unto the Lord. You're a peculiar people to the Lord. But a lot of these young children, they don't value themselves as that. That's why we as parents have to instill that value in them, right? Come on.
Yet they hearken not unto me.
So that's the same today. This is spiritual Egypt. They still not hearkening to the Lord. They still going, as Isaiah 30 say, want to go back into Egypt. They still want to take a part of Egypt ways, their philosophy, their customs, like America. This Babylon have nothing to do with our culture. This so-called black culture is not culture. It's wickedness and evil. It's abomination to the Lord. All right? Finish.
Nor incline their ear, but harden their neck.
But did what?
But harden their neck.
That's these children today. They're hardening their neck. Meaning they're rebellious as hell. They don't want to listen to the word of God. They think they got a brighter and better idea. Even though we've been on the earth 40 plus years, how about you listen to somebody that's been through it already? How about you take heed to the stumbling blocks that we had to encounter via not being in the truth? How about you take heed to that? But these children are rebellious. They hard-hearted. Their neck is hard against the commandments or the discipline and correction of their parents. Come on.
They did worse than their fathers.
They say they did worse today. That's why they have names like YNs, right? Thoughts and this, that, and the third. Because they're doing worse than their foreparents, their forefathers and foremothers. This society is cooked without the prophets. It's cooked. That's why we have to go throughout the four corners of the earth to bring forth the evil that's going on. Not here just in America, but throughout the earth. All right? So from there, Jeremiah 4:22. Got to stay in Jeremiah because Jeremiah painted the picture vividly for you to understand the mindset of Israel as a whole and this new generation that we're dealing with today. Come on.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
For
my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children.
They're what?
They are sottish children.
They're rebellious as hell. They're sottish. Look that definition up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh. And they have none understanding.
They have no understanding. Again, these children think they know more than their parents that have been on this earth longer than them. Makes no sense. I grew up with my great-grandparents. Did you think I disrespected or didn't listen to my great-grandparents? No, they was 80-something years old when I was damn 14, 10, or however old I was. I was young, right? And I looked up to them and followed whatever they told me. Why? Because for them to get to live that long, apparently they had to be doing something right. Yeah, we didn't have the scriptures in full and so on and so forth. But they had to be doing something right to get to that age, right? And they were married for that time, my great-grandparents. So I'm assuming probably 50, 60 plus years they were married. You understand? But definition, y'all got it? All right, put it up.
Definition of sottish. Sottish in the Bible, specifically in Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22, means extremely foolish, stupid, dull, or senseless.
So you got to slow down. You got to slow down. It said means extremely foolish, children. Extremely foolish. And what? Stupid. Because a lot of these kids think they're smart, but they're really stupid and simple, as the scriptures say. Go ahead.
Dull.
Dull of hearing. Dull of understanding that your parents are what? Looking out for you. We don't want you to fall into the sins and the traps of this world. America. All right, come on.
Or senseless.
Or senseless. They have no common sense. Again, they have no common sense at all. I mean, when you ask them questions, they can't articulate what the hell you asking them. Like I'm asking you a simple question, and you can't articulate what I'm asking you. Why is that? Because you're stupid. You're dull. You're extremely foolish. And I understand this. I understand this because we were once sometime foolish, stupid, simple, everything the scripture just said, right? So from there, Proverbs 22:15. All right, because we're not just getting on the children for no reason, because we were once there, right? We were once foolish and simple. But all praise to the Most High, we're not no more. Right? He done woke us up to understand what we should be doing and how to correct our errors. Got that?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
Say it again.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
It say foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. So this is something that grown-ups, as we're grown, and fathers and authority figures, we understand that foolishness, as we were once kids, right, are bound in these children's mind. But it's our job as parents to what? Divert that, to offset that, right? How do we offset it? With the word of God. With keeping them busy. We're going to get into all that. But it's our job as parents, as authority figures of having authority over these children, to make sure that they are getting the right medicine they need, not the devices of this world. All right? Was that it? Keep going.
But the rod of correction.
But the what?
The rod of correction.
How many of y'all know what that is? Rod of correction. Raise your hand. All right, the brothers know, the sisters know. How many of y'all children know what the rod of correction is? All right, some of y'all know. Okay. I understood what the rod of correction was. See, back in the day, rod of correction sometimes would have been a switch off a tree that you had to go pick. Some people went to the extreme. Again, we're not condoning none of this. Brief, what you call that? I can't think of the word. No, not spoiler. We don't condone this. Yeah, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. I couldn't find it, y'all. Disclaimer, all right? We don't condone that, right? Switches and all that. We grew up with that. I grew up with that, right? Belts, so on and so forth, with Jesus written on the belt as well. It's crazy, right? That's funny. But, and some people back in the day, I know people that use extension cords and things of that nature. Again, disclaimer, right? Whatever they get, my mom used to throw shoes at me. Whatever touched that woman's hand, it was coming towards you, right? Because, again, she knew some of this, but way far from it. She understood what she wanted her son to be, what morals she wanted to instill in her child. Y'all understand? Because, again, my father wasn't there, so she had to play both roles. And you children today don't understand how good y'all got it because y'all have both parents in the house. Not all y'all, but most of y'all do. All right? All right. And that's what we're going to read a little bit later, Cap Trauma Letter book. But from there, go to Sirach, Second Ezra 8 and 27. So y'all got to understand, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. But it says, the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. Because it's our job to bring forth the rod of correction, as it says in Sirach chapter 30. All right? Beat them on the side. All right? Not with no extension cord, not with no switch, not with any other object, but beat them on the side. All right? Read that. Sorry.
Book of 2 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 27. Regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that keep thy testimonies in afflictions.
Let's say, regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen. All these inventions that's been put forth, and we're going to name some in a minute. I know y'all got the list right that I sent. All right. But it's a lot of wicked inventions that this world has given these children to capture their mind, to keep them. And that's the crazy part. Even with the shows that they watch, right, like the Disney channels and these shows, it's always some type of innuendo or some, what's the word I'm looking for, subtle, subliminal messages, thank you, that's it, behind what they're watching, whether it be dealing with homosexuality, whether it be dealing with boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you can think, witchcraft. It's all in everything that they watch. That's why you have to monitor what they watch. Y'all understand? All right. Y'all don't understand then. All right. That's why these kids bad now. All right. Was that it? All right. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. I'm telling you, y'all, this class is for y'all. It's for me as well as for y'all, because we got to remember our job and responsibility as adults, as parents. Even father to the fatherless, we have to remember our job. All right? Come on.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So it said, lest sin, where you at?
You said 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11.
Yeah, read it again.
Yep. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us.
Right, lest Satan, I'm going to ask this question. Where is Satan, brothers? Where is Satan? Okay, he's everywhere. That's right. Huh? Roaming the earth, right? Going to and fro throughout the earth, right? Whose world is this? Satan's. So we understand that as fathers and men, we have to make sure that these kids understand that. That these kids understand that this is not our world. This is not our kingdom. This is Satan's kingdom, and Satan has the devices set up for your downfall, set up for you to become, again, these words, the thought, the whore, the YN, so on and so forth, op. That's what the world is set up. Satan is set up to do what? Deceive you. That's his job. All right? But that's why we're here. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 12.
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
2 Corinthians. Okay, so now let's list. List some of those things that these children are partaking in today. All right? You got Google Meets, right? Some of y'all children on that? No? So are they a part of homeschooling? Okay. So I know in homeschooling, they have some things where they chat, right? Via one of the homeschool programs. So it's for you, yeah. It's for you parents to understand every aspect of what your children are doing. Whatever they're doing for us to work in school, how they communicate. That you got to be up on this stuff. And say you, but your wife, your better half, the other part of your flesh has to be up on what's going on with these children. She has to stay active. All right. Did y'all put them up? What? Yeah, you can post that. Y'all got good pictures. Post that. Yeah, this is what they be on. Again, so I don't know what, it's many platforms, so, but we for the name some, but this is some of the things that they be on via school. So, yes, it's for school purposes, but then the wicked, evil children, they take it to a personal level. They take it outside of the school and now use it for their own personal devices and fulfill lusts, right? So you got Google Meet, you got Snapchat. Y'all put the list up there. What's that? That's Snapchat? Okay, Snapchat. You got Instagram. I got one for Instagram. All right, you see that? Was she doing some little lip stuff and hearts in the back? All that is wicked. All that is wicked. She shouldn't be on. This is how young girls, if we go watch a video, get taken advantage of, because they're putting themselves in a position that they shouldn't be in. Period. All right. What's the next one? Facebook.
Hey, Kev, can I say something?
Come on.
Hey, when you look at Snapchat is the devil's playground for sure, because the messages disappear, right? You send whatever evil you want to send. After the person sees it, it vanishes, right? So your parents can't track it and see what kind of evil is going on there. Now, in one of the schools that I'm dealing with, you had the 12-year-old boy and the 13-year-old girl in the congregation. So this ain't a homeschooling situation. This ain't after school. This is in here.
Right. In the body.
In the body. She said, send me pictures of your, can I say, what word can I say? Your thing. Send me a picture.
These children know.
They know what it is. About. Yeah, send me a picture of your weenie.
Right.
Right. So the simple little boy sends it. Boop. Then he say, send me a picture of your breasts. Right. And so this is a type of conversation that's going on between them. And so the daughter, when she's in her father's house, he's on the up and up, making sure, there's nothing going on. But when she goes to her unclean mother's house, so when you have kids who are living in between two homes and you bring them in here, they bring that sin up in here.
That's right.
Because your children are going to be unclean if they're in between two parents, two different households, two different belief systems, right? And so when she goes to her mother Her mother let her be on the phone, let her be on the tablet, let her do all these different things that these little worldly kids do. And so she's communicating with him when she goes over there. You see what I'm saying? So some of y'all, like, don't be feeling some type of way when we say, no, I don't want my kids talking with your kids is unclean.
Right.
Your kids are unclean. I don't want my daughter hanging with your daughter. No, it don't work. They don't talk to each other. Right. Because you don't have full control over your child's situation because of the custodial situation. Right. It is what it is. All right?
Yeah. The dynamics is confused. It's distorted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you teaching them, at my house, you putting on a dress, you being modest, XYZ. But then you go to mama house, the pants back on, the tights back on, XYZ. That's confusion to this child. This child don't know which way to go. She been tossed to and fro with the mother's doctrine and the father's doctrine. His is of truth, hers is of wickedness, but the child don't know, right? And they trying to satisfy or make sure they following whatever parent that they with, all right? But nevertheless, these are things like Cap brought out, we got to be mindful of. Y'all got to take heed and be mindful of those things. Because all these things, these children come with spirits, period. You know what I'm saying? Some people get offended of the scriptures because it's all scripture that we saying, but it is what it is. You're offended with the Lord, not me. All right, so let's some more. Discord, you mentioned that, right, officer? Discord, it's a gaming social app, right? I don't know nothing about it, right? But I know, they because I came back from Atari generation. There wasn't no internet back then, right? But the point is, like, you got Xbox and stuff like that. I did come to new age, and you can talk on there, things of that nature, right? The point is, you don't know who you talking to on the back end of that. You don't know who you talking to, a child or a grown man or a woman, right? The next one was Twitch. I don't know what the hell that is. It's another gaming social app, right? Some of y'all little kids know what that is? Don't know what Twitch is? Oh, okay, yeah, now they quiet now, yeah. TikTok. Everybody know what TikTok is. Everybody know what TikTok is. So, again, these are devices of Satan. These devices can be used for good, like the captains, the officers. They put out, what, shorts and things of that nature to what? Edify the people, to show them, hey, this is who you are according to the Bible. This is the wickedness going on in the world. This is why the war is happening over here in Iran, XYZ, right? But a lot of it is used for what? Mischief, for evil, to deceive what? These children, all right? Okay, TikTok. All right. So from there, let's go to first video. Let's look at that first video, number 1.
I'm just telling parents, you have no clue how bad it is. An image of your child on the internet that you're trying to show people on social media, they can take the face of your child and make a porn movie with your child, animated, artificial intelligence, that everything's real. You can't tell the difference.
So stop.
Then they can.
How many of y'all know that? They can take your child's face, all praises for y'all, can take y'all child's face and put it on a body, basically make it to what it is, and not the truth. It's a lie, right? It's the deceit that Esau, especially with this AI stuff, I'm telling you. Right. You look at these, like, just take, for instance, I say videos, or the movies that come on when Bishop do his class, right? That thing be looking real as hell, don't it? Right? But it's AI. It ain't real. It actually look like the bishop doing all that and the captains and so on and so, but it ain't real. Right? Why? Because this is the power that Esau is using to do what? Manipulate people. This is the witchcraft that he's using to manipulate people, to manipulate the minds of people. And he using, once they put something on the internet, we think in our mind, it's gone. It don't exist no more. I deleted it. That's not true. Y'all understand it, right? Y'all understand that? Delete don't mean delete. For those that's tech savvy, maybe the IT team back there, I don't know. I know my real tech savvy. Also, not tech savvy. Delete don't mean delete. Delete mean delete to you. I don't see it no more. But if I do some searching and digging, I can find it. So just think about the creator of this technology, Esau. He got everything that you think that you put away or that you deleted. Your whole history, he got. So what I'm showing you is the things when these children put their faces on these platforms and become social with everybody and their mama that they don't know, these things are captured and are used for wickedness to satisfy evil, pervert lust. All right? Come on, keep playing.
Then they can insert themselves into this porn film. There were over 33 million images transferred or downloaded last year. And our Justice Department, just over 300 cases were prosecuted. We could be getting a lot more pedophiles. The problem, it's so much bigger than people know.
From what I understand, the
So
U.S.
stop. He's talking about pedophiles. That's men, which we're going to read about as well, that don't have, they just gone with lust. They are perverted, evil individuals that hate their own people, that hate everybody, mainly little children, because they're exposing them to things that they should be exposed to, period. All right, come on.
is the largest consumer of underage pornography.
I believe there's so many pedophiles in the U.S. that it's beyond not safe anymore. So one thing parents really don't understand is how absolutely dangerous it is right now. And it's to the point where you shouldn't be vigilant. You should be hyper-vigilant. And I don't use that term lightly, but that's the state our nation is in regarding the safety of our children and welfare. One of the fastest growing groups of people viewing child sexual abuse images are young men in their 20s.
So he said a light. He said we have to be what? Hyper vigilant. Hyper vigilant. Us as parents have to be hyper vigilant when it comes to what these children are consuming and partaking in. All right. Get the 1 Peter's 5 and 8. 1 Peter's 5 and 8. And then give me pervert. Because these children are being perverted by what they intake. What they're feeding their spirit, they're being perverted and defiled by these things. They're not any more innocence in their innocency. They're being perverted by the things they see, the things they hear, the things that they watch, and the examples that they see around them as well. That's why we as parents have to make sure and be mindful of the things we do around our children. Right? When we're arguing or having disagreements, trouble in the flesh, should you do that in front of your children? No. You should hold your peace. Take that, unless it needs to be addressed right now, we're going to go to another room. But hold your peace until the season brings forth for you to discuss this matter. Your children shouldn't see anything outside of a loving father and a loving mother. Right? Not to say things don't happen. It will. But you get my point. As less as possible. Because you're teaching them by what? Your actions. Right? Come on, read that.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
But Satan is roaming the earth, as we said earlier, seeking whom he may devour. Who is his first and number one target? These children, the youth, this generation. Why? Because all praise to the Most High, the Lord has woken the prophets. And we're establishing our families. And we're raising up our children in the laws of God, which is combating the devil, combating Esau, all right, and his devices, right? But we have to understand what his devices are. That's why we gave you a list of them. So now if you didn't know, you do know now what things to look for. You do know now what things to search out for via these children, all right? Again, we said they're wise to do evil, all right? Come on, pervert, put that up there.
Definition of pervert. Perverted, perverting, perverts. Transitive verb. To cause to turn aside or away from what is good or true or morally right.
So it always go back to morals. Morally right. What is good? What's good, brothers? Okay, stand up, give me your name, and give me the precept and say what good is.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
The
Name?
law is, my name is Brother Paul.
Brother Paul.
Yes,
Shalom,
sir.
Brother Paul.
Shalom.
Oh, praise.
I don't have the precept, but I know the law is what we consider as good. I have to get one of my brothers to help me out here.
Okay. Come on. Let's help him out.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
MOV Joshua. The precept to that is Romans 7 and verse 12.
Let's read that. Romans 7 and 12. So you don't have that? Write it in your Bible, right? You're going to know what good is today. All praises. So this is what dealing with the morals and what's good according to the Bible. All right, come on.
The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good.
So the law is holy, just, and good. All right. So that's what's good. When people say I'm good, they ain't good because they ain't keeping no commandments. What's good is following the commandments of God. All right. So we know what's morally good by what? The commandments. All right. Let's go back to that definition.
To cause to turn aside or away from what is good or true or morally right.
That's what Esau, what he set up, the Lord allowed him to set up, can be for good and it can be for evil. It's what that person or the entity uses this device for, the internet per se, right? The apps and all this other stuff. It can be used for good and it can be used for evil. All right, come on.
Corrupt. Definition B, to cause to turn aside or away from what is generally done or accepted.
So that's the whole world. Esau set up these things for you children to turn aside from what's good, right? From what's generally done or accepted where? In here. In the keeping of the commandments. Because when you go out there in the world, like the scriptures say, you're going out into sin, right? But in here, what do we establish? The commandments. You can't be in all manner of evil coming in here. Because again, we said those spirits go jump from seat to seat. Now you're influencing your other young brothers and sisters to do what? Evil. All right? Keep going.
Misdirect.
Uh-huh.
Definition 2A, to divert to a wrong end or purpose.
See, all this is to divert you from what's good to what's evil. So, because Satan knows he got you when now you're being deceitful, you're lying to your parents, and you're in all manner of wickedness. Satan know he got you. You don't know that he got you, but he know he got you. And then the Lord will send that little birdie somehow, some way to enlighten the parents on what's going on. So now we can go forth and rebuke that devil out of you. Correct you, right? Come on, last one.
Misuse.
Mm-hmm.
Definition 2B, to twist the meaning or sense of.
Right, because this is the crazy part. Kids think, because this is a real life situation I'm talking about as well, and we'll get to that at the end. But kids think what they're doing is nothing wrong with it. I'm just on here talking. You on a video chat with a little boy and other individuals, and you just talking. Do this seem right to you? In their mind, they're not doing nothing wrong. In my mind, it's all the way wrong. It's evil as hell. Why? Because as the definition said, you haven't learned this here in this setting, in the way of life and our customs and commandments of the law. We haven't learned this. I haven't taught you these things, but you're going by what you've been taught via all these entities, as well as those around you, the influences. Who are the influences? The peers. Those are the influences, all right? So let's get to victim. So we had pervert, which is, somebody to take you off course, right? And now let's deal with the victim, right, of the perversion. Read that.
Prey. Definitions. An animal taken.
Go ahead.
All right. Definition 1A, an animal taken by a predator as food.
Mm-hmm.
Definition B, one that is helpless or unable to resist attack.
Right. That's going back into now not knowing the devices of Satan. Kids don't know the devices of Satan. They gullible, they foolish, they ignorant. What we said earlier, they stupid. They don't understand the ramifications or the power that Esau has. everything has Satan in it. Everything. Again, I talked about the shows have Satan in it. The music has Satan in it. Anything you could think of has Satan's hand in it. To do what? To take this youth, to take our youth, all right, to put them in sin. And via the prey is going to come after who? Well, not the prey, but Satan will come and prey on who? These children. That's who the prey is, all right? Keep going. Keep reading the definition.
Victim. A definition 2. The act or habit of preying.
That's Esau. He's the prey. He's preying on us, on these children. Come on.
Archaic word, spoil,
Mm-hmm.
booty, prey,
Mm-hmm. So
herb.
his job is to do what? Spoil you, to destroy you, to taint your innocency, which is the pureness of your mind. You shouldn't know what sex is about, period, until when? Till you get married. Till you are given to a husband. That's when everything unlock and you now experience that which the Lord has said is a righteous covenant. Until then, you don't need to know what the hell, XYZ, weenie, penis, vagina, none of that. You're going to learn about it because our job as parents to make sure you understand. But at the end of the day, that's not something that you should be seeking after, right? And we understand as well, all these things with a young man and a young woman, daughter, is natural, right? We understand that it's natural, right? We were all children, and man and woman will eventually be together because it's meant to be that way. You're meant to be drawn to that opposite sex, right? For the man to the woman to the man, not the man to the man or the woman to the woman. Again, that's Babylon, right? But now let's get to video number 2. I want y'all to look at this, all right? Because this is for you children that think that it's innocent, think that it's okay, think that nobody's going to get hurt, nothing's going to happen. But I'm telling you, you playing with fire. That's what we as parents trying to help you understand. Stop playing with fire. You play with fire, you get burned. All right, come on, play that.
Taylor, this is 27-year-old Sadiq Raouf Perry. He's a naval serviceman who lives in Virginia. He's facing a new life behind bars after investigators say he targeted a 14-year-old girl from Lafayette online and paid for her transportation across the country.
So stop. This is a 27-year-old man, right? That's dealing with a, we say 14-year-old little girl, baby. And somehow, not somehow, because again, they stupid, gullible, naive, simple, he was able to entice her to get her a ticket, to have a lie about her identity, age, so on and so forth, to get to a whole nother state. This is what you children need to be mindful of. No, these men, for you sisters, and these women too, all right, they don't mean you no good. Their job is to fulfill their lust. Period. That's it. And then leave you high and dry. It's a spoiled individual. Now your innocency is taken from you. Now your pureness is taken from you. Again, who they're supposed to be with? Eventually your husband or your wife. Not some random person. Not somebody that got in your head and defiled your mind. Because all he telling this 14-year-old is straight up lies. They ain't got no future. They ain't got nothing. She's a baby, and he's a damn 27-year-old man. Again, that showed you mentally there's something wrong with these men as well. As we saw the other video, what age you said? 20 something, right? Y'all remember the video? Anyway, 20s, right. But the point I'm making is these are the young men that have some of these issues because a lot of them addicted to porn. And via a case that Bishop brought out a while back, this little boy went to jail. Remember that? Why? For watching kiddie porn. Was it kiddie porn? Yeah. Right? So I'm telling y'all, you gotta be mindful of what you are doing. The traps that Satan is laying for you. All right? Keep playing.
Pair allegedly found together in a Virginia hotel. This case began 5 days ago on Sunday when the 14-year-old went missing. Law enforcement says Perry paid for a rideshare to take the teen to a Lafayette airport.
So now you got to ask yourself as well, where was the parents? What was the father or the mother? What were they? For your child to up and leave, unbeknownst to you, what the hell was you? Again, accountability goes back to who? The parents. It's always going to come back to us. Us as leaders, us as parents, the accountability come to us. Because we have a big job to play. We got a big role to fulfill with raising up these youth to be righteous, to be pure, all the way up until they're given to their husband. These daughters I'm speaking of. And you young men as well, to make sure you keep your purity. All right? Finish it.
Accused of encouraging her to lie about her birthday to be old enough to travel alone. The teen boarded
So
that flight
it continues to bring forth.
took her to
Pause.
Norfolk, Virginia, where
Let's go let it play
Perry
through,
lived.
boy. I tell you. It continues to bring forth what? Sin upon sin upon sin. All right? That's what happens. Once you open that door to sin, you crack that door, boom, that door wide open. Now, this man then perverted this child's mind. Now she's doing whatever he says is okay to do because he has her mind. Understand? Some young women in here, probably back in the world, were the same way. Understand? This young man had game. He spit it. He enticed you, and you did some lewd, wicked, evil things. Again, we was all in the world. All right? But come on.
That took her to Norfolk, Virginia, where Perry lives. Perry picked up the teen from the airport. Law enforcement say they tracked the pair to a hotel. The teen later disclosing she and Perry had sex at that hotel. The minor is now back home in Lafayette Parish safe. Meanwhile, Perry is charged with transportation of a minor with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity.
All right, good for his ass. He in jail. All praise to the Most High. For preying on the innocence, a 14-year-old girl. This is crazy. You got some, Cap? Go to, so example of this in the scriptures, the perverted, disgusting, inflamed with lust men. Susanna, 1 and 8. This is the spirit that's on men. Get lascivious definition as well, I sent. This is the spirit that a lot of these men are rolling with, and young boys. It's not just the grown men, it's the young boys too. Why? Because what they're exposed to. Every manner of wickedness and evil you could think of. From porn to whatever. All right? The conversations of grown folks as well being on these video games. All right? And these video games teach you wicked and evil stuff as well. You got Grand Theft Auto. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of some more. That's the last one I remember. But yeah, you got naked women on there. You got a lot of things. Didn't they have acts going on there as well? Like, meaning some type of acts of. Right. Yeah, you can pick up prostitute. The point is, this is what's defiled in our children's mind. All right? So it's your obligation as parents to make sure you monitor what the hell they doing.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Playing games you're playing on, whatever. Let's read that.
Here's through Susanna, verse 8. And the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her. And they perverted their own mind.
And they did what?
They perverted their own mind.
So it said their lust was inflamed in them. They couldn't see. They saw red. They was blinded by lust. Now it's like somebody, they say black out and do something crazy. That's what they did. They blacked out. They did something crazy. They accused Susanna of adultery. That's evil. That's wicked. But let's see how Susanna was raised. Jump up to verse 1. That's what I want, verse 1.
Verse 1. There dwelt a man in Babylon called Joachim, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Chelcias, a very fair woman, and one that feared the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents also were righteous.
Her what? Her parents what?
Her parents also were righteous.
Her parents was righteous, brother. What that mean? Thank you, officer. It's like I'm talking in Spanish. Anybody know what righteousness is? You got the precept? Okay, all praises, all praises, all praises. That's good, that's good. You got it this time. Man. All
Shalom.
praises. Yes, sir.
Shalom, leadership,
Yes,
Brother
sir.
Paul again. Righteousness is keeping the law, and that's Deuteronomy 6:25.
All praises. Deuteronomy 6:25. Let's read that real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 25.
Uh-huh.
And it shall be all righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God.
So righteousness is keeping the commandments of God. So her parents were what? Righteous. Come on. Go back.
Verse Susanna, verse 3. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
See that? They taught their daughter according to the laws of Moses. So she knew what? Thou shalt not what? Commit adultery. Right? She understood that. What commandment is that, brothers? All right, who said that? Raise your hand and stand up. Say your name. Again, just like in school, that's why you know these children are rebellious. They just blurt out. Back, I know when I was in school, you had to raise your damn hand. Wait till the teacher called on you. But now today, they lost that. Because back in the day, you had corporal punishment as well. Get your ass whooped. But go ahead.
Hey, Shalom. My name is Elijah Israel. Committing adultery is the 7th commandment.
That's right. All praises. Y'all got that, brothers? Y'all got that, sisters? All right. All praises. All right. So now let's look up lasciviousness. So Susanna was accused of something that she didn't do by some evil old men. Because remember, when you read the whole history, they was doing this in times past with Northern Kingdom, right? But let's read lasciviousness, because this is the spirit that they had on them, which a lot of these young men and women have on them. They ain't just the men. I pointed, like a lot of times I want to point it to the men or the young men, but it's not just the young men. These young daughters have spirits on them of lasciviousness as well. All right. Why? Because the world has inflamed this spirit in them. Right? It's not innate or natural in them for us to have that inflamed spirit on them. All right. Come on.
Definition of lascivious. Filled with or showing sexual desire. Lewd. Lustful.
Lustful. So that's the spirit that's been put on these children. All right. That's it. So go to Ephesians 4:17. All right. So we as parents, like I said, we got to understand our job, and we got to understand that this spirit of lasciviousness is put out there to be functioning with who? The minds of our children, our youth. All right.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17. This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having the understanding.
So the scripture's telling us we can't walk as the Gentiles. I mean, who? The other nations, the world. We can't walk as them. We are an upright seed. We're of a holy nation. We're the light to the world. So if we're walking right on the side of them, going down the same path of them, we know better than them. We living as them. All right, come on.
Having the understanding darkened.
Having what?
The understanding darkened.
Our kids' understanding are darkened. Why? Because what's been given to them. Right? That's why we have to monitor them as parents. Come on.
Being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them. Because
and that's what we have to understand. It's ignorance in these children. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. We understand it as adults, so we have to make sure that we set up the parameters, what they can and can't do. What's allowed, what's not allowed. Come on.
Because of the blindness of their heart.
Because the deceitful mind of their heart wants to fulfill what they see. Wants to go here, there, and everywhere because the world say this is what you need to be. This is what you need to partake in. All right, come on.
Who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness.
So what?
Giving themselves over unto lasciviousness.
To lust. All right, go ahead.
To work all uncleanness.
To work all uncleanness, because you're making yourself, your mind, unclean by everything that you put in it. What you partake in it or put in it, that's what you go get back out. Come on.
With greediness.
With greediness. Okay, go ahead.
But ye have not so learned Christ.
Right. You haven't applied what the scriptures say. You haven't applied what who? Your parents say. Your parents' job is to keep you in a safe space. All right? A safe space. That's why your parents set boundaries in your life. That's what the parents was there to do, set boundaries. Just like you go to your job, right? You have boundaries. You have certain things you can and can't do. That's with anything. You have laws set up in this world, things you can and can't do. Everything has boundaries associated with it. Children must have boundaries, all right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 32 and verse 8. All right? The Lord set boundaries for us to not learn the ways of who? The heathen, right? Let's read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
So the Lord separated all nations. He told us, he gave us the commandments, right? What's the first commandment, brothers? Hands, come on. Come on. Right back here. Y'all got the mic? No, back here. Back here. Back. Yeah. No, not Jezreel. It was the young one back here.
Yeah, you back
right here. Trey. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. What's the first commandment, Trey?
Thou shalt not have no other God before me.
Well, that boy good. That boy good. Oh, yeah, hand clap. All praises, man. Yeah, because back in the day, I couldn't have told you the first commandment. Okay? But all praises. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. That's what the other nations had. They had their own gods. They had their own customs. They had their own way of living. All right? Which we learned, where were we? In Egypt. We learned these things. The God for every day. All right? The God of the Nile, XYZ. All right? Keep reading. No, that was it. So just like Leviticus 18 goes into, learn not the ways of what? The land where we were going, which was Canaan, which is Israel, right? And a whole bunch of Hamites in there. The Lord told us don't learn their perverted ways. All right? Deacon Abiel touched on that before, the whole chapter. All right? Ezra 6 and 21. Ezra, I say in the Bible, but you know, Ezra. Read that. 6 and 21. We've known from the beginning that it was boundaries set up that the Lord set us apart. Of course, being a peculiar people from every nation. We're not like them. He showed us morals and ethics on how we court, how we get married. Everything we do has order to it. The world don't have order to it. It's chaos, period. All right? But in the scriptures, in the nation of Israel, we have order. All right, read that.
The book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 21. And the children of Israel, which will come again out of captivity, and all such as had separated themselves unto them from the filthiness of the heathen of the land.
So children of Israel coming out of captivity. Where we at today? In captivity. What do we have to do? Separate ourselves from who? The filth of America. The filth of the whole world. Period. The whole world is filthy. That's why the Christ got to come back and purge it of its filth. Meaning, yeah, by fire. To destroy a whole bunch of things, landmass, people, everything. Because this earth is defiled. All right, come on.
To seek the Lord God of Israel did eat and kept the feast.
Go ahead.
And kept the feast of unleavened bread.
So their job is to seek the Lord God of Israel. And it's expounding on what they did to respect and keep the laws of God. Go ahead.
7 days with joy. For the Lord had made them joyful and turned the heart of the king of Assyria unto them to strengthen their hands in the work of the house of God.
Right. So our job and our foreparents' job was to remember the Lord in whatever condition we was in, and then the Lord will fight for us. He will make our way straight where we can keep the commandments. All right, finish that.
The God of Israel.
The God of Israel. All right. So now let's go to the third one. Third video.
What about
All right. I see it, but they don't see it.
What about social media? Well, if they're under 13, it's illegal for them to be on social media. Did you know that? And after that, delay. And I say this because of internal research that was conducted by Facebook and Instagram found that when teenagers use social media, it increases their anxiety, it increases their depression, their likelihood to self-harm, suicide, as well as for teenage girls in particular to have body image issues. None of us would want our kids to have depression and body image issues.
So pause. Why would young girls have body image issues? Brothers, yeah. Come on. Come on, Mike. Come on, stand up so he can see you. No, back here.
Shalom, leadership. My name
Shalom.
is Kevin.
Shalom, brother Kevin.
The problem they would probably have with that is with social media like Instagram for one and Snapchat viewing, they see other females, so they start to compare themselves to them.
Okay, in what manner? How?
Body. So they want to look like them, they want to dress like them, and they want the same hairstyle as well too.
There you go. Right, yeah. So all praise. Good job, brother Kevin. So it's showing you that they're being influenced. Again, all these things, these social media entities, is to influence these young girls to be promiscuous, to be something that they shouldn't be. Thus said the Lord. They should be modest. They should be keeping themselves pure, like we quoted earlier, and not giving themselves to what the world teaches. All right? We're in the world, but we're not of this world. All right? Come on.
So why are we allowing them to have social media which causes them to have that? Some of you are like, Matt, my kids are bored and they're pressuring me. So what? You're the parent. Protect them. It's your job. And some of you are like, yeah, but they need it. Like, how are they going to have a social relationships and friendships and everything? Okay. The other thing about this youngest generation is that they are the loneliest generation on record. And that loneliness...
Why y'all think this generation lonely? Or don't have that, as per se, social interaction as much? That's true. They're not making physical connections, right? Let me give you an example. Again, we didn't have this stuff, right? We didn't have this. Right. We would go outside and play with each other and be in the house before the street light came on. This is what we did growing up. Myself and a lot of these men and some sisters out here too. All right. That's what we did. We had social interactions. Now, these kids stay in the house all day just on the phone or just on the tablet or just on TV or whatever case it may be, consumed and out of touch with what? Reality. They don't know how to socially deal with people. Even my son, he didn't know how to socially deal with people until he got older, because of course that's their confinement as well. But you looking at a screen all day like they just posted a while back. That's some social interaction, but not the full makeup of it. You weren't getting picked on at school. You weren't getting beat up or fights was instigated and things of that nature. You didn't have this little girl that kept eyeing you that you didn't have none of that. Why? Because now everything is via computers and things of that nature. Social disconnect. All right. So now that we finished that, right? The video. Okay, finish it off.
That loneliness doubled over the last decade, correlating with the use of cell phones, smartphones in every kid's pocket. They hang out less in person than any generation before them. If they need to have social contact, you can either use the family device for a certain amount of time every day, like that's when you can text your friend, or you can just text or call me, okay? Parents, did you know that you have a phone? Did you remember back in the day you had to call someone and talk to their parents to talk to your friend? And you like took the phone and you're like, Mom, Dad, come on, shh.
How many of y'all understand what you talking about right there? Some of y'all understand that. You know what I'm saying? We just wouldn't you're not getting on the phone with anybody. You know, you got to know their parents. It's a list of things that you have to understand about this young, whoever it may be, boy, girl, to be able to interact with them. Because it's the parent's job and responsibility to do what? Protect their child. That's why, back in the day, today, I don't know how it is, but stay over people's houses. know what I'm saying? I know that was kind of big back in the day. The point is, you got to know their parents, like through and through. You're not just for to allow your child to go to somebody's house not knowing the background, the history of that person, the mother and the father. All right? So that was it on that. Let's so your job as a parent is this. Sirach 30 and verse 8. All right? This is your job as a parent. We cannot, repeat, cannot give these children liberty. All right? They can't have, they got to be on a tightrope. We have to hold them accountable to doing what thus said the Lord, which is thus said your parents. All right? Yes, Sirach 30.
Sirach 30, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful.
Right. It say a horse not broken becometh headstrong. Okay? Meaning that horse is going to do whatever it want to do. That child, if you leave them alone and leave them to their devices, they're going to do whatever that they're being peer pressured or the flesh is telling them to do. Read.
Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid.
My bad. The last part said, and a child left to himself will be willful. They're going to do whatever they want to do. Why? Because they have no boundaries. They have no rules and regulations set up. That's why I went back to the law. It's plainly, the law set up plainly the commandments, rules and regulations for us, right? Come on.
Verse 9. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness.
That's some of us. Some of us like to play with our children, like to baby them, coddle them. It's not our job to coddle our children. We're their parent. Are we their friend?
No.
Only some of y'all believe that. We ain't their damn friend. We're their parent. Our job is to mold them and shape them to what the Lord wants them to be. So then when they grow up, we can have joy for them in the end. We can see a grown man and a grown young woman fulfill their days in peace and how the Lord said it. Of course, they going to go through other things in life via getting married, now becoming a man, XYZ, and a young lady. But the point I'm making is you've done your job as a parent. You haven't been negligent in doing your job. All right, keep reading.
Verse 10. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end.
Right, you cannot be these children's friend like today, in today's, because you got grandmothers that's 40-something years old. Thank you. Some younger than that, as the officer said. But the point I'm making to you, they think that they're their friend. They going to the club together with their 16-year-old daughter. What the hell is this? Again, that's this generation that we live in. I could never think of that with my parents, my mother, or my, granny, so on and so forth. I couldn't have fathomed that, right? Because that's blurring the lines. We're not equal. I'm your father. I'm your mother. All right? I'm the authority figure, not your friend. All right? Keep going.
Give him no liberty in his youth.
Give him what?
Give him no liberty in his youth.
Give him or her no liberty in their youth. They can't do what they want. They have to have rules and regulations set up, boundaries, restrictions. Because if you let them do what they want, as it said up above, they're going to become willful. They're going to think because you allowed them to have this device here, a phone, that now on the phone they can go to whatever sites they want. Because all this this is a little mini computer. They can go to sites that they want to do, but that's why you got to, like my ribs, you have parental locks. They can only go to certain things on there. But again, it's back doors around that, right? Because these kids are crafty and wicked. They can go, what's it called? Incognito, right? Incognito. I don't know none of these terms, y'all. But there's other back doors that they can use to access these things. Y'all understand? Okay. Keep reading. Finish
and
that.
Wink not at his follies.
And wink not at his folly. That means you got to bring the rod of correction to them. I mean, you got to help them understand that this ain't going on in my house. I don't play. These spirits won't roam in my house because now you affect, if they got brothers and sisters, you're affecting those that are around them, the other peers around them, the other siblings that they have. All right? From there, go to the fourth video. Where we at? Okay. Doing good, doing good. Fourth video. Let's play that.
Children who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media have twice the risk of anxiety and depression. And on average today, kids are spending 3.5 hours a day on these platforms. If you want mentally strong kids, delay giving them cell phones, social media, and video games for as long as possible, and it is critical to supervise their use.
It's critical.
For conversation number one. If
Pause.
you want,
it's critical to do what? Supervise your children. Just like at your job, you have supervisors, right? They supervise you to make sure you do what? You're doing the work that you're supposed to be doing, whatever facet that is, whether you work in a warehouse, whether you drive the trucks, whatever you're doing, whether you're a clerk, whether you're work at the cashier, whatever you do, they have to make sure you're doing your job. That's us as parents. We have to make sure that these children are doing their job as children, not adults, none of that. You become an adult when you leave out my house. That's when you become an adult. When you're grown enough to take care of yourself and take care of your own well-being and your lights and your water and your food and your clothes, yeah, then you become an adult. Now, because you understand what? Responsibilities. These children don't understand responsibility. Myself at a young age, I knew what responsibility was. Again, my father wasn't in the house, so I had to help my mother pay bills in the house. That's responsibility. These kids don't know. They are conquered. They are, what's the word I'm looking for? Coddled? No, it's another word. Enabled. They are enabled because they think entitled. That's another word. They're entitled. They think everything that we got. What's wrong with our teeth? They think that they're entitled to have video games, to be able to get phones and all this type. You're not. That's nowhere in the Bible say you're entitled to get anything. You have to work for these things. And then the parent has to monitor you to make sure the things that you're getting is not detriment to you. All right? So from there, was that it on that? Because y'all want to play it stuff while I'm talking. Do I tell you? Come on, what you got? Send it to him. Okay, read what officer posted.
The style of parenting that consists of befriending the child is known as permissive parenting, also referred to as indulgent or lenient parenting.
That's some of y'all in here. Some of y'all in here, right? That's some of us how we grew up. Lenient parenting, right? Again, some of us may have been friends with our parents, but the Lord, that's definition telling us not to be, but the scriptures tell us not to be friends to your children. All right. So permissive parenting. All right. So that's the term for it. All right. All right.
Cool. Oh, you want me to keep reading?
Yeah, keep reading.
Core characteristics. Friend first approach. The parent acts more like a peer or best friend than an authority figure.
So you got a 40-year-old parent that's conducting themselves with a 14-year-old child like we friends. I'm not your damn friend. I'm your father. I'm your mother, so on and so forth. Come on, Cap.
Cap, this is woman stuff.
Yeah.
This is woman stuff. Put that back up there. This is woman stuff. Because a lot of times black women struggle to maintain genuine friendships. Some of y'all can think of somebody you know right now. Sabotage every friendship or relationship they have. Right. So when your daughter gets old enough, that become your friend now. Right. You went and created your own best friend.
Right. Bring it up.
Why you laughing? Sister's laughing because it's true. I've seen it so many times. And then what happens is that mother and that daughter relationship, it ends up ruining that daughter's chance of having a good relationship.
Bring it up.
Any man is going to come and they're going to see that and they get whiff of that spirit, they're going to flee because they don't want to marry you and your mama.
At all.
They don't. And it starts at 14, 15, 16.
There you go.
You ever see these pictures of these people in the world where the mom is all in the prom picture with the girl? She trying to compete with the makeup and the different things with the daughter and all this type of stuff. Listen, all of that is of the world.
That's it.
All of that is of the world. And one more thing, I want to bring this point out too. It's a sad thing that Esau got to tell people to limit your child's time on social media. Right? Like you're not even like they can't even make an account without being a certain age. So you already lying. But for your parents to monitor this thing, it requires work. Like, yeah, you've been at work and you tired and you come home, but like you still got work to do when you get home.
That's it.
That's what it is.
If they care about their children.
If you care about what's happening to your children, because what happens is one day you're going to come home and you're going to see, oh, snap, she done snuck out the back door. She done snuck out. You're going to find something that's going to say, that's going to be a mirror reflection to you that you've been a lazy parent.
Or you go come home and it's going to be a little boy now. That's what you go walk in the door and be like, what the?
Yeah, and you're going to want to beat that little boy's ass.
Pretty much.
But you need to beat your own ass.
Right.
Because put that back on the screen. Because that friend. So read the second one. The high warmth. Read that.
High warmth. Yep. High warmth, low structure.
So low structure. Low structure means you as a parent, you put in low effort. Right? You didn't put in the structure. Go ahead, read.
They provide a great deal of emotional support, but lack discipline.
No discipline.
Routines.
No routines.
Or age-appropriate behavioral expectations.
So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Satan is going to creep in. Some little boy's going to creep in or some little girl's going to creep in. This is how teen pregnancies pop off. This is how all these different things happening. So some people might say, well, I'm not a, what is it called? Scroll up. I'm not a, scroll up, IT. I'm not a permissive parent. I'm not a gentle parent. But if you're a disassociated parent or you're a lazy parent, you fall into the same category because there's still no structure there because you haven't endeavored to put it there.
That's it, 100%, Cap. That's when that child become what? Willful. They have no boundaries. They have free reign to do evil. All right, and they go back to the women that got the boy husband or the, how you say, son husband. Thank you. It's the same thing. The son husband foolishness, and no man is gonna deal with that. It's the same. It's a different section. All right, but so now the parent has a big job. All right, Proverbs 22:6. We got big jobs to do as parents to direct these sons and direct the daughters. All right, I'm gonna touch on the sons and I'm gonna touch on the daughters because we gotta understand, man. At the end of the day, yeah, I got a lot. We doing good. We doing good on time. But let's read that real quick.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
How we train them up, brothers? All right. In the commandments. All right. Keep reading those.
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
That means you're not gonna be a friend to your child. You're gonna be a parent. So when he get older, he's gonna now bring forth the things that you have taught him or her. All right, drop that. Drop that. Go to Proverbs 1:8. Proverbs 1:8. It's our job to teach these children, to teach these young men, because again, some of them don't have fathers. Some of them didn't grow up with fathers. All right. Some you have single parent mothers' houses right here, homes right now. That's what we have today. A lot of them. I don't know the statistics, but it's a lot. All right, because I knew as I grew up. All right, and my aunt, I can think of a lot of people. I'm just telling you, that grew up with just a parent, a mother. All right, come on.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father.
My son, hear the instruction of thy father. Go ahead.
And forsake not the law of thy mother.
And forsake not the law of thy mother, because the mother got the instruction from who? The father. All right, come on.
For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck.
Right, this is what's going to hold you in discipline. All right, come on.
My son, if sinners entice thee.
If sinners entice you, so this is what you children, you young men and women, are being enticed by what? Your peers, by those around you. You're being enticed. influence to do what? Evil, as a class bishop did. All right, Bishop Yawasop. All right, daughters of Sarah and daughters of Dinah. Dinah was enticed. She, as Bishop brought in the scriptures say, she wasn't raped. She was enticed to go and do what? Fulfill her lust. Right? That's what some of these little girls are, enticed. Some of these boys are enticed. All right? Come on.
Consent thou not.
Consent thou not. All right? So from there, that's what we want? Yeah. Oh, statistic. Come on. They quiet over there. They ain't saying a damn thing.
Statistics show that approximately
what is it? Statistics?
Statistics.
Okay.
Statistics show that approximately
Go ahead.
statistics show that approximately 64% of black children in the United States live in single-parent households.
Wow, that's a high number. 64%. That's bad. That shows you what? The black man ain't stepped up to his role, his responsibility as men, right? Because he don't know his worth. Again, we all have been broken as a nation, period. And the Lord, through the prophets, through the leadership, is putting that spirit back on these righteous men to stand up and take their role, all right? Their rightful role to lead, to guide, to correct, to manage, all right? Drop that. Go to Proverbs. No, not Proverbs. Sirach 6 and 18. Sirach 6 and 18. So it's our job as men to make sure that we're guiding the home. As we just read with Solomon, when you read 1 Kings 2, 1 through 3, David is instructing Solomon on how to be a man. What's required of a man is to do what? Keep the commandments. You keep the commandments, you're showing yourself a man. Right? Come on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up.
Do what?
Gather instruction from thy youth up.
This is the time you young prophets and you young daughters should be gathering things. Again, your mind is very impressionable and moldable. You're being molded at these young ages, all right, to gather things of importance, gather things of stability, of virtue, so on and so forth. These are the things you're supposed to be gathering. Your worth. Come on.
So shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age.
Now you're able to display everything that you learned as a child to now who? The whole world. Your parents see that, see you grow up, and they're blessed. They're happy. They see you as now just become a righteous son, a righteous daughter of the Lord. All right? So now let's go to Sirach 7 and 23. Sirach 7, 23. Come on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 23. Hast thou children? Instruct them.
So the Bible keeps saying the same thing. If you got children, your job as parents is to instruct them, guide them, lead them, keep them from harm's way as much as possible. Give them no liberty in their youth. Come on.
Instruct them.
Instruct them. Go ahead.
And bow down their neck.
Down their neck from their youth. That means you got to set things in place. You got to have things for them to do, not to be idle. We're going to get that too. But come on.
Hast thou daughters?
Mm-hmm.
Have a care of their bodies.
It says, hast thou daughters? Have a care of their bodies, to keep their purity, to keep their virtue. Because again, that daughter only have one time to give away that virtue. And that's to who? Her husband. Not to some little random Negro in the world. All right? Come on.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
Again, we're not playing. The fathers that have daughters understand we're not playing when it comes to our daughters. We understand the weighty matter, which we're going to read, that this job requires. Come on.
Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
Right. You say, marry thy, so no, pause right there. Go to Sirach 36 and 24. All right. So our job as fathers is to protect our daughters, protect their innocency, protect our possession. The daughters are our possession. The sons are as well. But it's put more emphasis on who? The daughters. Because again, they are, what's what I'm looking for? I said simple and stupid. That's all the kids. But they lack, right, they're more vulnerable than the young men. All right? Come on, read that.
Sirach chapter 36, verse 24.
Uh-huh.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession. That means she belonged to him. The daughters that come from the wife belong to who? The husband. All right, come on.
A help like unto himself.
Right, so he's going to train the daughter, the wife is going to train the daughters to be what? Meet to their who? Their father. That's their Lord. That's their covering while that they're still in his house. Come on.
And a pillar of rest.
And a pillar of rest. All right, so what you have? Keep reading.
Yep. Verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
Where no hedge is.
So where no hedge. What is the hedge, brothers? Somebody raise your hand. Come on. What is the hedge? All right, they look baffled. Okay. What is the hedge? It's not a trick question. You got it? Come on.
Shalom, Cap. Is the hedge like protection over your family?
Yes. And who is that in this context?
The man.
The man, right? The husband. He's the protector. He's the hedge over who? The daughters, the women, his wife and his daughters. All right? Come on, keep reading.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
Where no hedge is, now your daughter is laying up with some little 15-year-old. Then lost her virtue. Where no protection is, now your daughter has just taken a flight, as the video we just saw, to meet up with a 27-year-old and 14-year-old and for him to take her virginity. There was no hedge there. Again, that's why the father's job is important. Come on.
And he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning.
Right. So now you got to remember our job is to protect you. Go back to Sirach 20. No, go to Sirach 28 and 24.
You said Sirach 28, 24?
24, yes, sir. That hedge of protection is very important. We got to protect our wives, our daughters, as well as our sisters. Because a lot of sisters here single, right? Our job as fathers, as leaders, as men, is to protect you sisters. So a lot of times they be like, well, why we got to report in? Why we got to do this? Why we got to do it? Because it's your job. Because we're looking out for you. Because we're trying to protect you. Just that simple. We're not ruling over you in that sense. We're not trying to wife you, so on and so. We're trying to protect you from evil Negroes outside and even in here, because they're in here too. All right, come on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28, verse 24.
Uh-huh.
Look that thou hedge thy possession about with thorns, and bind up thy silver and gold.
Right, so it's showing you that hedge is to protect what's valuable to you. Whatever's valuable to you, you're going to protect it with all your might. You're going to do everything within your power to protect what's valuable to you. People put cameras up at their house, right? Why? Because you consider that valuable. People put alarms on their cars because why? They consider that valuable. How much more our daughters and our wives and our single sisters that we not consider them as value to protect them, all right? Proverbs 9 to 13. I got to speed up now. Proverbs 9 to 13.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
A foolish woman is clamorous.
A foolish woman is clamorous. So remember, these are the spirits that we are innate in women. Y'all are emotional, okay? Some of y'all may have, accepted this, taken accountability of this. Some of them may not. Some of them may think that they still, I can control my emotions, yada, yada. You can't. It don't work like that. The Lord didn't put that in you. He put the man there to help you what? Govern those emotions, right? Come on.
She is simple and knoweth nothing.
So the simple woman, mainly in the world, not in here, right? They simple. They go off emotions. Everything they do is based off of right now. What's going on, how I feel, what I think. I'm getting my point across, right? But that's not how it should be, all right? 2 Timothy 3:6. 2 Timothy 3:6. So it's our job to protect you, sisters, all right? Not to
The book of 2
we want to protect you. Come on.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses.
This is a part of the protection. We're protecting you from this. All right, come on.
And lead captive silly women.
Start at the top again.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses.
So niggas in the world, creep into houses. But let's see what type of houses he creep into. Go ahead.
And lead captive silly women.
Who?
Silly women.
Silly women. Women that don't know no better. Women that have the men around them that's trying to protect them, but that disregard the protection that God sent forth. The hedge that God put over them to protect them. They said, I don't want that protection. I think I got it. I can do it on my own. But this type of woman, the Lord is showing you, it's simple. Come on.
Laden with sins.
Laden with what?
Laden with sins.
With sins. Sins have consumed you, right? Come on.
Led away with diverse lusts.
Led away with diverse lusts. Again, we understand you all are teens, preteens, a little older, whatever. We understand the body, the hormones, all that. But we understand that the parents are there to regulate that, to help you self-regulate those things. All right, come on.
Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Right, because we continue to teach you, we continue to show you, thus said the Lord, but a lot of you are still rebellious, defiant, and want to do it your way. And you may find out, like the young daughter again, example, she found out that that wasn't the right way to go. All right. Her virginity got taken. And now the nigga in jail. All right. From there, Sirach 7:25. Speeding it up, speeding it up.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
Again, I told you it's a weighty matter. Caring for a daughter is a weighty matter. You done heard the bishops, the deacons, Deacon Abiel, like Deacon Athan, like these men that have daughters. A lot of us have daughters. And it's a heavy matter understanding how to make sure we governing our daughters. It's an everyday job and responsibility. Just like Cap mentioned about, it's just not one time that you do it. It's an everyday, ever ongoing job, right? You get off work, you're going right back to work because you still got to monitor what these children are doing. All right, go ahead.
But give her to a man of understanding.
That's our job, not to some nigga in the world, but to give our daughters to a man of understanding. Meaning that man has to be in here. That young man, I have to look at as an actual son. I have to see him as my grown son back there. I have to see him as that. I have to understand that he understands the scriptures. I have to understand that he understands how to take care of a wife, how to not put his hands on his wife, how to actually nurture his wife. You understand? So these are things that a man has to, all this on his mind. This heavy stuff that he got to deal with. All right? Keep going.
Hast thou a wife after thy mind?
So now it's showing you, your wife have to be after your mind. Meaning your daughters' mind have to be after my mind. To understand what I require of them as young daughters and how I want them to fulfill what's written of them in the scriptures. Come on.
Forsaken not, but give not thyself over to a light woman.
So that's why it's showing you, you women, you young daughters, can't be light. You can't be simple. You can't be stupid. You got to have some type of wisdom. And who do you get that wisdom from? Your father. You women, your lords. Single sisters, the leadership. We're the hedge to protect you from the world, from evil Negroes out there. All right? From there, Sirach 30. 30 and 13.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Chastise thy son, and hold him to labor, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee.
So this is the mindset that we have to have. We have to hold our children to what? What did it say?
Hold him to labor.
Hold them to labor. Labor, meaning just like we go to work, we have to labor, right, to get a check. We got to labor to bring forth funds home to do what? Take care of the family. These children can't just be sitting in front of these devices and not doing anything. But again, back when we had, I had my house and had my little garden going on in the back, you had them doing things. They was dealing with the quail, right? They were helping their mother in the garden, right? They're writing commandments. They're doing something to do what? Keep them busy. Because this world, all these devices and all these things, it brings forth evil upon them. To where now they do what they see. They want to act out what they're learning on these social platforms. All right. Where we at? Drop that. Give me Sirach 10 and 18. All right. So it's our job to deter them from the wickedness and keep them busy in the word of God. That's why you got the YMOV. Said it right? Yeah. And the DOS. YDOS. Thank you. YDOS. All right. Read that.
Sirach chapter 10, verse 18. Pride was not made for
My
men.
bad. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. My bad. Read that.
Gotcha.
Oh, paper fly. All right.
Gotcha. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 18. Sorry. By much slothfulness, the building decayeth.
By what?
By much slothfulness, the building decayeth.
So you got to ask yourself, do you want your children to decay? Do you want your children to, again, we will have joy of them at the end, in the last, when they grow up. We don't want to see them out there strung out on drugs. We don't want to see them out there becoming that whore or thought or whatever you want to call it in the world. We want to see them given to drugs because a lot of these things are being put upon them, and their mind is to wonder about it. What's the word I'm looking for? They want to go experience it, right? They're enticed by these things, all right? Come on.
And through idleness of the hands.
Through what?
Idleness of the hands.
Through idleness of the hands. Because they can put forth their hands to do something productive. Because a lot of y'all should be sitting forth in these children's lives where you want them to be. Because it should be nation-minded, right? Meaning how and what can they do to help support the nation? Meaning future tense in careers and things of that nature, right? That's how y'all should be molding their mind. What can you do to help support your nation? Right? Come on.
The house droppeth through.
Right. So so it's talking about the possession being spoiled and our children being given to wickedness. All right. Sirach 33 and 27.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 27.
Uh-huh.
Sirach 33, verse 27. Send him to labor, that he be not idle.
It say what?
Send him to labor, that he be not idle.
Send him to labor, that he be not idle. These children have to have, like, okay, you got the YMOV. The young men of valor, they have things set up for them, right? And Bishop Kanai did a whole class, right? Brought the young men to the front, showing them their importance, showing them that they are the generations to come that will continue to avenge what we're doing. If Christ ain't came back, the work continues, right? The point is they have programs and things set up for them to keep them engaged, to keep them off of social media, to keep them understanding their purpose and their aim and goal on this earth as being a young prophet, right? That's our job with these daughters as well, for you young DOS, right? YDOS. The same thing for you sisters. Y'all should be building these young daughters up. Am I might go mute or what? To understand their value, their worth, and not to, what's the word I'm looking for? Neglect that, all right? Because if they don't know their worth, they're going to give their worth to anybody because they don't know their worth, right? From there, go to, you finished that, right?
No, sir.
Come on.
For idleness teacheth much evil.
Idleness teaches evil. That's why they're upon all these different social media platforms, the Snapchat, the Backspace, the outlet, and they're learning what? Evil, right? What you got, Cap?
Yeah. Read the next verse. You weren't going to read the next
No,
verse.
no, I wasn't.
Okay, yeah, read the next verse.
Verse 28. Set him to work.
It says set him to work. You have to have things set in the house where, okay, they know when they get home from school or wherever they at, they got to do the dishes, the trash got to be taken out, the yard got to be cut, different things. If they know how to work these phones and do all these different things, they know how to work a washing machine. They know how to work a dryer. They know how to fold. They know how to hang. They know how to mop floors. They know how to make mop water. They know how to do all these different things, right? Read on.
As is fit for him.
As is fit for that child. Come on.
If he be not obedient.
If that child is a disobedient child, come on.
Put on more heavy fetters.
That means you got to tighten up the slack.
There you go.
That means you need to add more workload on them.
That's it.
You got to add more work because there's many ways to discipline a child. You just got to beat them.
Right.
Do you got to beat them? Yeah, you got to beat them sometimes. But there's more ways to discipline a child. Increase their workload at the house. Increase chores.
There you go.
Hey, these are all things that you got to get done. If you don't get it done, hey, we're going to take this away. Listen, you could get – listen, I tell my kids all the time. I told my daughter, I said, they going to call you a cartoon character because you're going to go to school looking the same every day. You're going to have one shirt, one skirt, and you're going to recycle that. You're going to wash it every day when you come home until you get your act together. That's all you're going to wear is one shirt, one skirt. And they're going to call you a cartoon character because every time they see you, you look like the last episode. So they're like, when you do things like, I'm telling you, these kids get their act together.
Right.
You gotta do that. So it says, set him to work as is fit for him. If he be not obedient, put on more heavy fetters, meaning add more work to it. Be more strict. Read the next verse.
But be not excessive toward any.
So don't be too excessive because some brothers go overboard, right? You might get angry, and in your anger, you discipline the child in your anger.
Right.
No, you got to calm down and what? Read.
And without discretion, do nothing.
And you got to calm down and you say, okay, now cooler heads prevailed. With my discretion, let me administer the judgment that got to go down in this house.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Because how many of y'all got disciplined by your parents in their anger? Yeah, my mama beat me until somebody who wasn't even at the house got tired. You know what I mean? So you gotta make sure that you have reasoning behind it. And sometimes you might need to just pick up the phone and say, sis, my daughter bugging. Hey, officer, my daughter bugging. My son bugging. And counsel on how to move because sometimes you can over discipline your kid and destroy their spirit. Right? Don't let the kids use that against you though. The kids will say, "Oh, see, Captain Arias said you could over dip." Nah, no. Y'all have no idea what over discipline is
at all. Right?
You haven't even reached the cusp of discipline.
Right.
Listen, I was beaten with many different things. Okay, so make sure that you're following these steps because what ends up happening is. You look at your kid, they 16, 17 years old, and they become who they are and who they're going to be in life. And you miss those prime years to mold them into somebody that can be productive, somebody that's respectful, somebody that is not lazy, they're disciplined. You could ingrain all of that in them at a young age by just following this right here. Come on.
That's it, 100%. And a lot of us didn't learn those things as growing up, right? Like Cap said, we had to learn these things where? In the truth. You had to learn you cannot discipline a child when you piss the hell off because that's not good at all for the child. You know what I'm saying? Because we went through that, like you said, Cap. We went through that, literally. You know what I'm saying? So all praise to the Most High. That's on point, Cap. That's on point. Let's get what I want. Deuteronomy 6. 6 and verse 4.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul.
And this is how you love the Lord, because I was reading this to the kids last night, but in Hebrews 12, and I forget the verse, but it say, talking about the chastening.
7:6.
Yeah, thank you. I for the butcher, I ain't want to butcher. Whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. So they got to understand that this is actually love that is being put upon you right now. Whether it's a whooping, whether it's things taken away, whether it's more labor like Cap brought out, whether it's holding a wall, whether it's making you do lunges, whatever it is, it's all love. Because my job as a parent is to make sure I'm molding the best individual I can, an upright individual that's keeping God's commandments and that know their worth. All right? Come on, keep reading.
Verse 5.
Mhm.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart.
So these words should be in your mind. This is what we are as parents instilling in our children's mind. The commandments. Come on.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
I mean, you have to do these. You have to do this. This is not a choice. This is an obligation that the Lord put in your hands. Some brothers and sisters can't have children, but the Lord put it in your womb and in his quiver to have a whole bunch of kids. So now you have a responsibility to take care of them kids, to mold those kids, to nourish those children, just like your wife is supposed to be nourishing with the scriptures. Come on.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way.
That sounds like every day to me. That sounds throughout your day, you're teaching and molding your children. As Cap brought out, it's just not one time. It's throughout the day. Come on.
And when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So every day you're teaching and showing them the right way, thus said the Lord. Teaching them how to pray. Teaching them the things that they'd have to do, whether it's writing commandments, keeping them busy in the Lord. All right? Watch and read. There's so many things and ways to teach your children outside of the world, or allowing them because you tired, because you had a long day at work, you go a device, go do your thing. That's just too easy. The Lord ain't make this easy. All right? Come on.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontness between thine eyes.
All right, go to Ephesians 6 real quick. Ephesians 6 and verse 1.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord.
It say children. So children, I hope you're listening. Obey your parents. And what it say?
Obey your parents in the Lord.
In these commandments. Because the commandments tell you to do what? It's going to tell you in the next verse. Read.
For this is right.
For this is right. Go ahead.
Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
So it's telling you, honor your father and mother, which is the first commandments with promise. Okay, go ahead.
That it may be well with thee.
That it may be well, meaning you'll have a long life, meaning you will establish morals, discipline, stability within your own spirit and soul that will carry you throughout the rest of your life. Go ahead.
And thou mayest live long on the earth. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath.
It say, ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. Some brother explain that real quick. It say, ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. Anybody?
Hey, Shalom, Cap. Brother Nashawn, Most High Christ bless.
Most High Christ bless, Brother Nashawn.
Provoking your children to wrath. Can you read the verse again?
Come on, officer.
Yep. Sorry. Verse 4. And the fathers, ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath.
That means God's wrath.
Okay.
Because if they're not going to keep the law, then they're going to suffer God's wrath.
Right. Meaning what you have to do as a parent.
You have to teach them God's law.
What we read in Deuteronomy. Right? 6. You got to teach them. Right? So you don't want your children to receive what? The wrath of God, the punishment of God. So your job as a parent is to do what? Teach them the laws of God so they won't err and be judged of the laws of God. All right? Or breaking the laws of God. Good job. Keep reading.
But bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord.
It say, but bring them up in the nurture. That's how you nurture your children. Again, that's how I say you nurture your wife, because a lot of brothers, they don't like to teach their wives either. That's another topic. That's why their wives are simple and don't know the commandments. So she can't even help him in his time of need if he get out the spirit. Anyway, go ahead.
Servants. We'll keep going?
Yes.
Yep. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh.
So did the subject matter change? Brothers? So what is it talking about? Anybody?
Shalom, Cap.
Shalom.
Since we're talking about raising the family, the servants will be the children.
Right. There you go.
And the masters be the parents.
That's it. 100%. I'll give you a precept real quick. Sirach 3 and 7, just to confirm that. So the servants, the children, are to obey who? Their masters, their parents, their authority figures in the Lord, because they watch for you. They are the protectors over your spirit. All right, read that real quick.
Sirach chapter 3, verse 7. He that feareth the Lord will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters.
See that? So your parents are your masters. The authority figures over you to protect you. All right. So all praise to the Most High. I want you to read the trauma letters, not Deacon, but Captain Galilai's book. It's a very heavy book, right? I just started reading it, but it goes in the part, plays on and teaches about the trauma that some of us in here may be affected by of our upbringing, right? And things that we don't want our children to be affected by, to now carry on trauma after trauma after trauma in their upbringing. All right, make sense? Let's read that, the pages I gave you. Thank you.
Letter 2. Father, your absence affected my understanding of manhood. Letter 2a.
So this is to the son, or from a son to the father, right? He's telling you what's missing from his upbringing. Again, just like I said, I didn't grow up with a father. This is some things that will be missing from my upbringing, not having a father, right? That shapes and molds you to who you are today, right? That's why fathers, men, leaders, that's why it's your job to make sure you're being there to support the nation, the sisters, the brothers, those that's fathers. Come on.
Father, you were the first man I was supposed to study. Manhood is not taught in classrooms. It is modeled in kitchens, in correction, in protection, in consistency. Without you, I learned manhood from observation instead of impartation.
So that's what I'm showing y'all. A lot of men in here learn by examples, learn by what they saw. They saw men in the hood sitting up under a tree drinking. They thought that was life, what life was about, but that ain't what life about, right? But they wasn't guided and molded and taught that wasn't life. Come on.
I watched other fathers. I studied coaches. I imitated men on television. But imitation is not inheritance. Psychologically, boys develop masculine identity through paternal mirroring. A father affirms strength while
pause right there, because that masculinity will be tainted. Right? Y'all understand what I'm saying when I say that? Because the father wasn't there. How can you learn to be a man without a man? You learn to be like who? Your mother, the person that raised you. You take on feminine qualities, right? You're emotional. A lot of these brothers sometimes emotional because that's who you were raised by. Understand? That's why it's important that you have your father in your life, right? All praise for this truth. Come on.
Psychologically, boys develop masculine identity through paternal mirroring. A father affirms strength while correcting immaturity. Without that presence, a boy may either become hyper-masculine to compensate or passive to survive.
Right, meaning that hyper-masculine boy can't control his emotions. Now he want to fight all the time. Now he's just in all manner of evil because he can't control what's innate in us to control, per se, versus the women. That's why, again, we the hedge over you women to govern your emotions. But this young man won't have those governing factors because he wasn't raised by a man. Come on.
I fluctuated between both. At times, I overcompensated. Aggression, pride, independence. At other times, I doubted, hesitated, feared, withdrew, because no one initiated me into manhood.
So that's an initiation by who? Your father. Yeah, the back, yeah. That's it. 1 Corinthians? Yeah, read that.
All right. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit ye like men, be strong. But how does a boy quit like a man? We never saw one at home. Jesus was strong and austere, yet compassionate and patient. A model of true masculinity that bows before God.
It's showing you that you have to have that example. Like a lot of us didn't grow up with fathers, but who are our fathers today? The bishops. They are spiritual fathers that help us, that helped us, helped myself, helped a lot of these men become men, to grow in the understanding of what a man actually looks like. All right, come on.
I forgive you for not teaching me what you may have never been taught. I now understand that manhood is not dominance. It is discipline. It is devotion. It is responsibility under God. David was a warrior, yet he wept before the Lord. True masculinity bows before God. I'm no longer confused about what a man is. I am becoming one.
Right, so that's for you young men. Y'all are becoming men. Y'all are coming into your rightful position as that goal being tried to become a man. All right, let's go to the daughters real quick. It's the last one. But understanding this is some of the trauma that our people are going through up in here, because this is the hospital. Again, we're talking about these kids and this generation, but as a whole, we're all sick. We all need that nourishment and the medicine from the Word of God to build us to who we need to be, who He formed us to be. Come on.
Letter 2B from a daughter. Father.
Daughter to father. Come on.
Father, you were the first man who was supposed to define safety for me. Without you, I had to imagine what protection felt like. A daughter learns how she should be treated by how her father treats her mother.
So again,
and her.
And her, right. So if you don't see this, you're not living in this atmosphere, this lifestyle. You don't know what it looked like. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know what none of it exists to you. Like we used to look on damn TV. So some of us grew up around the age of Good Times, right? I remember Good Times, right? All right, I'm the only one that remember Good Times. Damn. Anyway, Good Times. But then you had other Edomite shows prior to that, like the Brady Bunch. Thank you, the Brady Bunch. All in the Family. The Partridge Family. Who? Different Strokes, right? With the black token, kid, right? But the point is, we didn't see that on TV outside of when. When did it come about where it was a better picture or portrayal of us showing we can accomplish things? Huh?
Cosby Show. The
Cosby Show. Thank you. See, you in tune, soldier. The Cosby Show. So you have to see these things in order to be able to put yourself in that position or mindset to say, I can be a doctor. I can be a lawyer. I can do things that was told to me that I couldn't be. Because remember the other movie, the damn black woman was calling the boy nigger. What show? Antoine Fisher, right? Damn, y'all don't watch movies, golly. Antoine Fisher, she was calling the boy nigger, right? Like what would that do for his self-esteem? Y'all understand what I'm saying? The point is, that's why this is important. All right, come on. Let's finish.
Father, you were I'm sorry, I'm starting the second paragraph.
Yes, sir.
When you were absent, I learned to normalize inconsistency. I confused attention with affection.
And they normalize inconsistency because what the father always doing? Even if he was halfway somewhat in the child life, what was he doing? He was lying. He was promising things that he know he wasn't going to do. Oh, I'm going to come back next week. Or I'm going to pick you up next week, this, that, and the third. It became inconsistent. Like now that child is like, hey, whatever. I know he's not going to come. But you're playing with these children's emotions, all right? That's why, again, our job as fathers and mothers is to heal this broken spirit within all our children and us as adults as well. Come on.
I confused attention with affection, intensity with intimacy.
So you see that. It confused what?
Intensity with affection. Attention with affection.
Yes, attention with affections. That's some of these girls. They confuse attention, and 100% of the time it's the wrong attention. It's based off of something you got on, something that it's not based off of what's up here at all. All right. Now you're taking that to be, oh, this person cares about me, that they actually want to be with you, whatever the case may be. All that is misconception. All right. It ain't true. They just want one thing from you, and that's to take your virtue. Come on.
Intensity with intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Psychology teaches that daughters with
intensity with intimacy is examples. some women or young daughters experience their mother getting beat up. They think in their mind that that's how that's what love is. That's not what love is. Not by a real righteous man. That's not what love is. He understands that's not the attributes that a man's supposed to have or the love he's supposed to display with his wife, but becomes normalized because this is the atmosphere, the life that they're living in. All right, come on.
Psychology teaches that daughters with absent fathers may struggle with boundaries, self-worth, and expectations in relationships. I did. I accepted crumbs because I never saw a feast. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
All praise to the Most High. So, Israel, I pray y'all got some from the class. Parents, teach your children. All right? All praise to the Most High. All praises.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.